Hello guys, this week a number of the democratic leaders decided to break Putin's isolation and to phone him to discuss a potential ceasefire and a potential agreement that will definitely not work. But today in the morning, as Russia targeted 120 various missiles, 90 drones on different regions of Ukraine, we really wish these leaders to keep calling Putin, but not from their safe offices, but somewhere from Kharkiv, Sumy or Kyiv, from a bomb shelter or maybe from the bedroom, just to feel how absurd the idea to appease the crazy Kremlin dictator. And in times when Russia, China, North Korea openly humiliate the democratic countries, we see Russian ships performing special military operations close to vital and super important internet underwater cables near Ireland. We see Putin uses gas terror against Austria and other EU countries. We see them interfering in the elections in Moldova, Georgia, and many other countries. And we all demonstrate weakness when we think that such things can be negotiated or forgiven. And I'm happy that in this world of craziness and chaos, Ukrainian armed forces keep working on the only effective strategy, and that is demilitarization and defeat of the Russian Federation. And during this week, we've targeted their oil depots and refineries, military airfields. We've observed a serious collapse of the Russian economy when you have to pay 100 rubles for just $1. Inflation keeps growing, people are fired, and North Korean soldiers are losing in Kursk. So let's discuss why it's vital not to stop until the complete collapse of the Russian economy and the Russian regime. That is the only way to achieve lasting peace and to teach other authoritarian regimes. No one is going to give up in Ukraine. And I have hope and trust in you that you also understand how important it is to defeat the evil. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine, and I'm very proud to be Ukrainian in times when so many people are afraid of the bullies. Here in Ukraine, we stand against them, and to demonstrate your solidarity, please subscribe and share these videos on your social media platforms. Once again, bad things are happening on X, bad things are happening in the media, and our task is to stay firm and to stay united against the evil, because unpunished evil grows. So let's have a look at the most important events of this week and see what they mean for the future of this planet. So after a number of calls by Chancellor Scholz, whom President Zelensky asked not to do that, not to break Putin's isolation, especially taking into account that most likely Scholz is to lose his office in a couple of days, weeks, months. So even Putin does not take his call seriously, that's obvious. But he decided to illustrate that the dictator of Russia is negotiable when he is not. And after these conversations, potential secret talks from the new US president office, Putin illustrates how he disrespects, of course, not just Ukraine, but all of these so-called strong people. Because he targets 120 missiles and 90 drones as he prepares to negotiate. What is important, they have tested a number of new missiles like a hypersonic Zircon. Well, it's nothing new. Lots of North Korean missiles were also in the Ukrainian skies, but the world is concerned and expresses grave dissatisfaction. Here in Ukraine, we do it the different way. We try to do our best to target Russian military warehouses, thus preventing such attacks. So what was the reason for this massive attack on different regions of Ukraine, including my semi-safe Volyn region that was also targeted? Energy infrastructure. Well, winter is coming, temperatures are dropping, we need more heat, we need more electricity, and to frighten people of Ukraine, to make Ukrainians leave the country, because he understands he cannot erase all of us. He cannot make us surrender. He wants to create this desert that is not possible to live in Ukraine, and that's why he keeps targeting energy infrastructure. And a couple of stations were damaged today, but like lots and lots of missiles and drones were stopped. And of course, people wounded and people killed. And this happens almost on a daily basis in Ukraine. And no, the problem is not Ukraine. The problem is Russia. And the countries that actually openly support it, because we know it's not just North Korea. China has started militarily supporting Russia and not hiding it anymore. Why? Why? Because it sees the weakness, I am sorry, of Ukraine's allies, not of Ukraine. Because none in this period we have demonstrated weakness. With all the limited resources, with all the chaos, with all of your elections, oh my God, so many of them, we managed to withstand this evil and not have any doubts that the only way to end this war is to end Putin and his regime, and to change the opinion of those millions who think it's okay. So despite Kinzhals, despite hypersonic zircons flying in Ukraine, in our skies, we are determined to defeat Russia, and it is very and very possible. And for example, today I plan to travel to Kyiv, and I will never change my plans because of this dying Kremlin goblin. What is more important, while terrorizing Ukraine, Putin does the same to countries all around the world. For example, we keep observing and demonstrate our concerns about the shadow fleet that swims in your waters too, that is dangerous for the climate, that is dangerous for the water and marine life, that totally vividly illustrates how Putin and co humiliate all of the rules and all of the standards that we believe could guarantee well-being. He undermines sanctions, he undermines regulations, he gets this non-existent tankers and uses them to get money to kill more Ukrainians or terrorize the world. Now he promises to stop gas supply to Austria, and luckily more and more countries learn you cannot depend on Russia because it will constantly use it as an argument to spoil your life. And I hope that EU is prepared. Also, we know that with this massive missile attacks, Poland had to rise its aviation in the skies. This is another way they interfere in the lives of different countries. And internet cables are in danger close to the shores of the island, and actually in the Baltic Sea and other districts of the European waters and neutral waters, Russian spy ships were noticed, and we all know it's about sabotage. And what? And we have people that keep repeating, what shall we do with Ukraine? You should like help Ukraine and pray that Ukraine remains that determined to stop this evil. Because Ukraine is not the problem, Russia is the problem. And after all of this happening, we see President Biden traveling to China that supplies Russia with missiles and other ammunition against Ukraine to condemn these problems. And Biden condemns the support of China. I'm sorry, he was not traveling, but he condemned the military support of China. He says he's supposed to meet with Xi somewhere. And Scholz, after Biden's condemnation, plans to call China to discuss the potential appeasement and agreement. Guys, what on earth is wrong with this planet? Remember to subscribe to join the sane and strong community of the channel and to help us spread more information about the absurdity of these decisions and that they actually lead not to the simple sacrifice of Ukraine, let it be, but to the grave danger for all the planet. Because they are already in your yards doing their hybrid war. And we see that to defend you, not just ourselves, we need Ukrainian experience. If we have this Russian shadow fleet, if we have this Russian spy vessels in the waters next to important cables, next to gas pipes, we need Ukrainian experience. There is no Russian Black Sea Fleet anymore in Crimea. With all the restrictions that we have, they had to escape because of the effective moves that Ukraine takes. And that is why, for peace and security in this part of the world and in general, you need Ukraine. We need Ukraine. Look at others, what they are doing. They condemn and they are concerned, but they keep ruining not just our territory. They are already in your yards. And here we have Elon Musk, I don't know who he is, the second president of the United States or what, mocking Ukraine that we are a sovereign and independent state. We are. I honestly think that right now we are one of the bravest countries in the world, and many others have to take our examples how to stand against bully. Standing against bully, as Peter Pomerantsev says, in Ukraine is standing against bully in the United States, in France, in Poland. And there is no other way to live according to the rules and laws that you like in your countries. Because China, Iran, Russia, North Korea, they keep breaking these rules, mocking your leaders, humiliating your way of life. And we know how to fight with that. We protect that. We stand for our common values. It's not time to mock us. I am sorry. Those of you who don't like how the things are going in X, join me on Blue Sky. I have added this social media to my profiles. You can find the link in the description of this video. And let's speak about something good. I have a list of good things happening, and this week we kept targeting Russian oil refineries, depots, their military arsenals. There were serious fires in a number of Russian regions only on legitimate military targets. What is also important, we observe protests in Abkhazia. Abkhazia is a beautiful region in Georgia that Russia uses to destabilize this country, and they created something like a quasi-republic there. Russia is famous for doing such monstrous quasi-republics in Ukraine, in Moldova, in Georgia, obviously to destabilize the region. And people are getting out on protest because the so-called Parliament of Abkhazia keeps making laws that provide super conditions for Russian businesses, totally humiliating local Abkhazian, Georgian businesses. And it's actually interesting because with all the Russian money, with all the backup from the Russian political circles, we observe these problems. And some say it is from the support of FSB, because there are internal fights inside Russia. The fact that we don't know about them does not mean they do not exist. Russia is all about censorship, propaganda, distorted reality. And the same they apply when speaking about the economy, how everything goes according to the plan when actually it is on the edge of the collapse. We see inflation growing. We see how they do insane things with their interest rates, making them higher and higher in the hope they will slow down the inflation, but it doesn't work like that. Then we see that Putin had to fire lots and lots of people from various social servant spheres, and these are thousands of people, and it is a sign they don't have enough money to pay salaries. And as a cherry on the top, we have 100 rubles for just $1, but that's official, guys. In reality, it may be worse because it's really difficult to buy dollars in Russia. Sometimes you have to go on gray market, black market, because when they realize everything goes into abyss, they stop selling it with that quantities that you want to buy. So I'm sure there is lots of panic inside Russia. And we don't need this, I don't use bad words, saviors like Scholz or other negotiators that can help Russia get out of this abyss, when in reality we are so close to its collapse. The Kremlin had to close 3 oil refineries. because they cannot keep them working because of the sanctions, because of problems with export, because of Ukraine's serious hit on their oil refining industry. We've paralyzed 20% of that, and for Russia, that is not about a production, that is not about invention, that is just about dig and sell of its own resources. This is a deadly blast. Guys, we can defeat Russia. We should defeat Russia. We cannot stop. Otherwise, they will return and smash this planet together with other similar authoritarian regimes. Have a look at this grave mistake that was done with Crimea, with Georgia, when leaders decided to appease the evil. They unite and they grow stronger. And their plan is not to destroy Ukraine, but to make Europe, America, Australia weak, to expand territories. If we follow this logic that you are a big country, you have nuclear weapons, you can do whatever you want. It can be then applied in your everyday realities. I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I can beat you. I'm richer, I can decide everything for you. I can take away, I don't know, your children. It's not the way we want to live on this planet. Let's not let bullies win. And I don't like that Elon Musk acts as a bully, as a classical bully. Since when this humiliation, various offenses to nations, to women have become normal people? That's insane. And I'm happy that we do not stop in our determination. Everybody in Ukraine believes we will win this war, because Russia is the past, North Korea is the past, Ukraine and countries like us are the future. And we're working on our missiles, 4 different types produced, and I hope we will target them wherever we feel needed, taking into account the rules of war, because breaking the rules leads to serious dangers for the whole planet. And Ukraine stands not just for itself, but also for these laws, rules, agreements, and all these weak institutions that are needed to live normal life on this planet. Please stand with Ukraine. Please share these videos on your social media platforms to keep people updated and to stop these very serious manipulations with facts, with attitudes, with evaluations that we now observe on lots of platforms. Join me on Blue Sky, join me on Threads, on Instagram. We have a Discord community, and I remain on X because we have to keep fighting everywhere for the truth. Check our merch shop. It has lots of good items that work well as reminders and conversation starters about Ukraine. And thank you so much for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons and sponsors of the channel. Let me know, would you like some updates from the streets of Kyiv, as I will be on a business trip next week. And we have to be strong. We will defeat this evil. I know, everyone in Ukraine knows. President Zelensky, I respect him greatly. And you know, I liked it how people started joking after Musk's offensive, humiliating phrases that, hey, it's our president. We can have our quarrels with him. We can joke on him, but not you. Not you, because by that you humiliate all the nation that stands against an imperial bully. And we will defeat this evil. And I know you are with us, and I'm very grateful for that. Thank you for standing with Ukraine. Slava Ukraini!